All right, Beer Night followers, we're back with episode 18 of Beer Night, and we're doing a top 5 edition. That's right, top
This is
5.
the music segment.
Music.
Where we talk about all things music,
All
I guess.
things music.
Or just top 5 lists.
Top 5 lists.
Whatever
We
strikes
seem
us.
to be in a rut with top 5s. We love top 5s, trying to figure out what goes into it.
Trying to figure out what'll make you motherfuckers watch this segment.
This will be a good one, though.
This will be a good one. So we're doing top 5 Chris Cornell songs.
You guys know who Chris Cornell is?
Nope.
So he
Yeah.
just had
It's
I believe
YouTube.
he just had a birthday not too long ago. He passed a couple of years ago by suicide, unfortunately. I can't. Bennington, the singer, Chester Bennington of Linkin Park, he committed suicide on his Chris Cornell's birthday. So that is kind of.
He was a big fan of Chris Cornell too.
Mindfuck of a thing. It's crazy shit going on. But we want to do top 5 Chris Cornell's songs, and I'm gonna go first. I will go first, and then you guys can judge me, and you guys might have better lists than me, maybe.
Certainly.
Maybe not.
Certainly.
I don't think
we
so.
will.
I'm gonna start with number 5. Number 5.
Number 5. What do we got?
Chris Cornell's cover of Billie Jean.
Cover song. Huh?
It's a cover song.
Top 5?
Number 5. Number 5.
top
is
five.
You're
top
not
5.
going to like my list.
The top 5. Are they all cover songs?
Oh my god.
Yeah, Garrett's top 5. Number 1's going to be "Thank You," the cover of the Guns N' Roses song, right? Yeah.
I think we've guessed it.
Spoiler alert.
So he definitely first time hearing this song is just fantastic.
Great cover.
And then just mindfuck the way he changed it and the way he sings it is amazing. Make sure you check out that cover. Go on YouTube. Watch the version of, I think it's Yahoo Music or something like that. He does it live. It sounds so much better right there live. He is fantastic at singing that cover song of Billie Jean.
Did you see that crap on American Idol?
Okay, I was
American
going there.
Yeah,
Thank you for bringing it up.
Please talk.
That's right.
Talk
I can see
amongst
that shit.
yourselves.
So fuck that fucking American Idol bullshit.
Hold on. So you brought up a great point. Is the way he changed the song and rewrote it. He rewrote it, which that's what makes it a great cover. Is he completely rewrote the music.
Exactly.
And so American Idol, for one of their glorified karaoke singers that they have on there, lifted the music that he wrote.
Yeah.
And had their karaoke singer sing to it and passed it off as if the karaoke singer had decided to rearrange the song that way. And it was their idea.
Like the judges were like, oh, that was so original,
Yeah.
dog. You dog, bro. That was amazing. That was original.
And did not mention Chris Cornell's name.
Not at all.
Because he's not mainstream enough. So, and it's American Idol, right?
Fuck American Idol.
Yeah, like fuck Boston. Fuck American Idol.
Exactly. So check that song. That's amazing.
Bullshit. That's as if I wasn't already not going to watch American Idol. That really made me never want to watch it again.
So my number 4, I've been going back and forth on a couple of them, but I stuck to Beyond the Wheel.
Ooh,
on
good
number
choice.
4.
Good
on number
choice.
4.
Good choice.
So we saw them live.
It's a deep cut.
Deep cut.
Deep cut.
From their
but
first
great
album. What's the album?
No,
right?
Well, technically, first full length.
Full length.
First full length, yeah.
What's the album called? I'm blanking on the album.
Ultra Mega OK.
There you go.
Soundgarden's first album.
Yes.
Soundgarden.
So when we saw them live back in 2011, and they played this song, just blew me the fuck away. His voice is so ridiculous.
So a little background on this song. We're gonna nerd out on you here for a second. So a little background on this song. On the album, the version is totally different because it's played in standard tuning. Follow along with me here. So they did another version of that song where they play it down a half step, and it's a lot heavier because of that. And the drums are switched up too. It's more rhythmic instead of just tribal.
Well, when did they play that?
So
did they do that live?
Yes, that's how they play it live. That is the version that they play live. Okay. It is different. I could play both of them for you. Yeah. We won't do it here because it takes up too much time. It's like 10 minutes of extra video. Yeah. But I will play them both for you, and you will hear the difference. Yeah. They're completely different versions of the song. So the one that they play live is the one that I like better, which is the one that's tuned down a half step. Yeah. I think it fits his, because basically the standard tuning one he does falsetto the whole time.
Yeah, the whole time. Yeah.
And it just doesn't quite sound. I mean, he can obviously do falsettos, no problem. But falsetto has a place, and I don't think it's really meant to do like in a full context like that. Yeah. what he does with the half step down is he goes full throat, and it's not falsetto. It's just him
just
belting it out. And
It's
to see him do it
ridiculous,
live,
too.
it's like jaw dropping.
Yeah, it is.
It's
Like,
jaw
who
dropping.
can sing like that? No one. Fucking ridiculous. That's my number 4. My number 3 is Black Hole Sun. And the reason why it's number 3.
I'm gonna get a beer.
Top 5?
Top 5.
Not just top 5,
So-
number 3.
So Chris Cornell makes that song.
My favorite part of the song is still the guitar solo. I'm sorry.
I'm not mean. No. He makes that song. His melody, his vocals are like so kind of like subdued and like evil sounding almost. And like the melody,
It is well written. It is very well written.
Of his melody is fantastic, and I just love his melody of that song. And then it makes the guitar work in it doesn't match the vocals very much. It doesn't.
No, it's different. Yeah,
it's very different. So I think he shines on that song because it's so different from what is actually playing.
Okay, well, I would never put that anywhere near my top 5. It's still a good song. It's just overplayed. But
it is overplayed. But if you just listen to Chris Cornell sing it,
hold on. If you listen to him do that live acoustically by himself, it makes the song a lot better to me. Although my favorite part of the song is still the guitar solo.
Yeah.
I feel it shines better when it's just him on guitar singing that. Mm-hmm. The studio version, I'm just waiting for the guitar solo the whole time. I'll be honest, but because Kim Thale rips in that song, it's awesome. But
all right.
But
number 3.
But yeah, no. Listen to another thing I could play for you. Listen to the live acoustic version of that.
Yeah,
I
have
It's pretty awesome.
To it, yeah.
I'm sure you have.
I have. My number 2, Slaves and Bulldozers.
Number 2. Interesting list we got here.
Interesting.
Another deep cut.
Because he just
Soundgarden song, by the way.
Soundgarden. He just goes off on that song. That song is just meant for him to shine.
From Bad Motorfinger.
Yeah.
No, that song's impossible to sing. It's impossible.
It's just motherfucker. And like at the end of that song, it's almost like a high pitched death growl he sings. It's
more
so
of a scream.
More of a scream, but it's got a lot of rasp to it and a lot of fry.
Because he's letting it all hang out.
It is. That song is just for him to shine, is what it is. He shines on that song.
It's kind of a show-off song.
It is.
Really is.
So that's why it's number 2.
Doesn't try hard.
He's not trying hard enough. Oh my god. My number 1 is Outshined by Soundgarden. Is my number uno.
Interesting. Also, kind of a show-off song. Not as much as Slaves, but
so like
same album, by the way. Song number 2 and 3, Outshine, Slaves and Bulldozers.
Yep. So this song kind of reminds me a little bit of like Led Zeppelin, like what Robert Plant does. He's got a lot of yaz in there. Like before, like the middle section of that song is just ridiculous. He has some fucking ridiculous vocals on that middle section, and then just before he sings the outshine, just before that, there's a lot of like just crazy oohs and yaz and like what is he doing? Like he has this freaking fantastic just vocal sound on that song.
He adds a lot to the song, for sure.
It reminds me of what Robert Plant does. He adds a lot of layers to their songs with a lot of like different kind of like ooms and yaz, and it just adds so much layers, and that's why I think that's my number 1 is Outshine.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I just sang that song karaoke, by the way.
Oh,
not well.
But
I was there.
We tried.
So it's a hell of a way to bring them in the
house. One of the coolest parts of that song is, and I think it's a credit to him as an artist to kind of know what to do when.
Yeah.
Is that his vocal melody in the chorus is the guitar melody, but it's in lockstep, and it's like
it's locked down. It's right there, mean as hell.
It's so fun to play. Like when you're even as a guitar player, I'm not singing, but when I'm playing that riff, it's like just nasty because his vocals are behind it. It's really cool. I don't know if it's number 1, but
that's my number 1. I'll go ahead and
it's a good one.
Go with Garrett.
It's a good one.
What is your top 5 Chris Cornell songs?
So different. I mean, bringing it to when he died, I mean, it was when Scott Weiland died, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. he wasn't already dead. I mean, it was literally one of those conversations.
You still alive?
It's kind of like Vincent Kennedy's not retired yet. News to me.
When Chris Cornell died, I grabbed a beer, cracked it, went in the shower, and cried like an 8-year-old girl. It was super influential to who I was as a singer. So, although, yes, Chris and I have played in a band together, but we couldn't be more oil and water when it comes to music that's actually relevant, I think, in our lives, with obviously some things intertwining, because really you couldn't be in a band otherwise. But my top 5 as far as Chris Cornell songs are concerned, one of the biggest ones for me from that Soundgarden era was Day I Tried to Live. And ironically enough, it's the shirt that I'm wearing when Seven Dust tried to cover it. Listening on the way over here, trying to cover Chris Cornell singing, I mean, God bless you for trying. It is really one of those things. I mean, the vocals alone are difficult.
The hell too.
Oh, of course, but I mean, Soundgarden in general as a band is hard to try to mimic what they were trying to do.
Yes, that's a good point, because covering that band is so difficult, not just vocally but musically as well. Because you mentioned tuning it down. Yeah, the guitar tuning in that song is ridiculously wacky. So that's one of the things musically. What they were doing goes so unnoticed and is so underrated. Because compared to their grunge peers, they are like light years. Yeah. Musically, what they were doing was so far beyond what certainly what Nirvana was doing. Pearl Jam had elements of it. There was close. Alice in Chains was more of a riff kind of attitude, darkness band. Wasn't really doing the layered kind of weird, spacey kind of compositional stuff that Soundgarden was doing. Soundgarden. Like, the guitar tunings alone are just all over the place. They'll do an album of 15 songs, and one song will be in standard tuning. And the rest won't be just be in, like, drop D, like a lot of bands do. It'll be in completely wacky-ass, unknown tunings that only a singer like Chris Cornell could sing to. Yeah. And it gives something like The Day I Tried to Live an unmistakable tone that when you tune down, it makes it different. So the Seven Dust cover, not to get way off on a tangent here, because we already are, but the Seven, it just doesn't have the same kind of it doesn't have that same kind of that tone that song has with his voice behind it.
And I think that's what made Cornell special, though, too, because even with all the bands that he was a part of, and even with his solo career, the tuning and the things that he was singing to, it was literally, with the exception of that really random pop period that he went through, it was you knew who was singing, and you knew damn good and well. I mean, God bless you for trying on a karaoke, but I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole, just because, I mean, that's the kind of portions it is.
Beer, and I'll try it too.
Well, it doesn't mean it'll sound good, but it's a. I would say my number 4, and again, I think it's more. I feel like I'm one of those fans where when I heard this song, it was more of more than anything, it was the emotion I think that it made you feel. He had already died at this point when this was released, so Patience, his cover of obviously Guns N' Roses.
Patience. Did I say Thank You? That's a Zeppelin cover. By the way,
we knew what you meant.
Great cover of the Zeppelin song Thank You that he does, by the way. It's great. But Patience, that's the Guns N' Roses. At least he didn't put it number 1.
Number 4, huh? All right.
It was, his wife put it out there, and I think it was pure in heart of wanting to share his last songs. All of them were more or less covers, but it was the way he sang it, and just, I think, the somber tone of just knowing that he was dead at that point. It really struck a chord to where, and I think that's the beautiful thing about music. It's not so much that do I like this or dislike this. It puts you in a place of, where were you when you heard this song? Where were you when you really kind of emotionally connected with that song? And
I agree with you with the emotionally thing, because like music can definitely bring out the emotions in you at certain periods in time.
It's art. I mean, it should do that.
It should do that. Yeah. So yeah, it's emotionally. I agree with you. That's good.
And for all intents and purposes, Guns N' Roses is an incredibly overrated band. So to hear that kind of like sacrilege, as far as what most people put it, as far as, hey, I'm going to try to attach with that. I'm going to piggyback off of what your Billie Jean reference, as far as number 3 is concerned. His rendition of covers, just trying to get out of that box, he did some amazing renditions. Mm-hmm. Did a lot of shit too. But the renditions that he did, where he totally just recomposed it and put it into something where he truly put his own spin on it. I'm not saying that it was better than obviously the original, but it's something that I think that's what's the great part about covers is you're able to put your own spin on it as an artist and really kind of take a little piece and make it your own.
I think you can make a strong argument with this song that it's better than the original, because the original is kind of boring, honestly.
Sure.
But, you know, it's Guns N' Roses trying to do something different, you know, but I don't know. I don't know if they really hit it out of the park like you know, like their first album did. It was kind of like, I don't know, just kind of...
Was it better than Chinese Democracy, though?
They put it out now?
The shit I took a couple of hours ago was better than, you know, I left it in the toilet just for evidence. It's better than Chinese Democracy.
Let's take a look at that.
You'll be more entertained.
My number 2 is...
So your number 3 was Billie Jean.
Yes.
Kind of sky past.
Oh, so your number 3 was Billie Jean.
Yes.
Okay, got it. You segued. I got it.
Yeah. We had already kind of talked about it. It was kind of one of those, you know,
great.
It is, but you know, it was already kind of beaten to the ground as well.
Yeah. All right.
My number 2, Like a Stone, Audioslave. Probably not as, you know, it's, again, I'm looking more on his vocal dynamics and
I don't think that's his best on that album. I don't know.
I felt like Rage Against the Machine getting together with Chris Cornell. It felt like a cheat code almost when it was first.
It sounds like, I was like, awesome, sold. I mean, I'd rather
after
have
their first album, it was kind of dog
also,
shit, but you know, it's
the third album was good. The third album was a nice recovery. Yeah. I really like the third album, Revelations. The first album is great. Home run though.
And that's really, again, when we're talking about, it was more of the catalog of, for me at least, him as a singer, because obviously I was a singer at some point, so that portion. And then really my number 1 for him, I mean, it was very difficult, I would say, for...
It's hard to pick one. It's hard to pick number 1s.
It really is. His biggest one for me was I'm trying to pull up my notes here.
Better out. The be outshine.
Do 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 do. Sorry, I should have had it ready. Do 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 do.
It's a cover song, right?
Yes, absolutely, it was a cover song.
Oh my God.
No, I'm kidding.
Rusty Cage, I love it. It
actually is. Rusty Cage for me.
That's your number 1?
It was.
Oh yeah, nice. I fucking love that song. So fun to play, by the way.
So fun to play. Just everything that encompasses with that original Soundgarden sound. I know, obviously, you went with the deeper cuts, and it's by all means, you want to go with deeper cuts and the trendy portions. I mean,
but I mean, like, what a way to open an album, right? Like,
with
a cover song, but like, just like it's not it. So we were talking about.
It's so different.
We were talking about Johnny Cash's "Hurt," right? Which was a cover song of Nine Inch Nails, and it's now Johnny Cash's song.
It is his song.
Rusty Cage was a Johnny Cash song. It's now Soundgarden song. Once they release that version, it's like, hey, it's a Soundgarden song, sure.
Exactly. I didn't even know it was a cover.
And that's when you said it was a cover song, I was like, kind of.
Yeah, it's a Johnny Cash song.
I knew that a while ago, but like, I didn't know.
Yeah, before that.
Yeah,
but I think that's where a lot of his career kind of stemmed from. He was a student of music more than anything. So he had a lot of different. I mean, hell, he covered a Sinead O'Connor song. Like, he had a lot of good taste and a lot of just like, I don't know what you were smoking during this, but by all means. But I think the biggest thing, I think his personal touch and his personal flavor on anything that he looked at, regardless of it was early in his career or closer towards the end of his career, he knew how to really round out as a vocalist more than anything.
So I'm pretty sure I put Rusty Cage in my top 5 cover songs of all time. I'm pretty sure I put it there. If not, I should have. But what that is a great example of is not only Chris Cornell as a singer and musician, but also the band Soundgarden was like they just crushed that song. Like it's absolutely just the guitars, the bass. Oh my god, the bass is stupid in that song. Like every time I hear that song, I'm like, I gotta get a bass player like that. Man. Sorry, Rick, but. And Matt Cameron on the drum. I love Matt Cameron as a drummer, as a single pedal, single bass drummer, because we listen to a lot of metal, lots of double kick. But as a single bass drummer, he's hard to fucking beat, other than like John Bonham maybe. It's like Matt Cameron's way up there. But anyway,
Chris's top 5. Rap.
Top 5. What do we got here? So I'm gonna start number 5. I'm gonna go As Hopes and Promises Fade. And specifically the acoustic live version, not the album version from Scream, which is kind of his album where he went a little pop there. Hearing him do that song live, acoustic, by himself, no band, just him on an acoustic guitar singing, is one of the most powerful things you can ever listen to. I highly recommend it. It's this really dark song, and really kind of moody and depressing, but I like that kind of shit. So I like dark, depressing music. I mentioned we listen to a lot of metal. It's all dark. It's all evil. Dark, it's all evil, depressing. It's like, happy music. Fuck you. So it's a great song.
So
Number 4. I'm gonna go Shadow of the Sun. Audioslave.
Audioslave.
So the first song I ever heard from Audioslave was back when they were called Civilian, before they went with the Audioslave moniker. If you guys remember your history, they first got together. They were supposed to play Ozfest as Civilian. And then they broke up because of contract negotiations or some bullshit.
Yeah.
Some such shit. When they announced the news they broke up on the radio, K-Rock, of all fucking channels, don't listen to it now. But they somehow had a hold of Shadow of the Sun.
Yeah.
I don't know how they got it, but they had it. And they said, here's the one song that it's a dead project now. We're never going to hear it, but here's the one song we got. They played Shadow of the Sun on the fucking radio. I listened to the whole thing. I remember it vividly, too, because it has a completely different guitar solo from Tom Morello. Tom Morello actually played like a normal, conventional guitar solo, and on the album, he does this weird noise, whammy shit. Tom Morello stuff. Right?
Yeah.
It was kind of refreshing to actually hear him play conventional guitar solo, honestly. But I remember like it was yesterday. It's crazy. And then who knows, 6 months later they announced, okay, we finally come together. We're calling it Audioslave. We got the deal done. They released the album like another 6 months later. And then I hear it on the album, like, there's the song. And it's still one of the most epic songs on the album, one of the best written songs on the album. It's heavy, it's dark, it's moody. It's got a lot of, different stuff going on. Chris Cornell's melodies really fit what's going on musically, and they kind of take you on a ride that you're not always expecting. And that's one of the things I feel like he always did really well, is kind of, his melodies weren't always what you kind of expected. I was kind of like, oh, okay, that's interesting. I wasn't expecting that, but it works really well within the context of the song. So, number 3, same album, Audioslave, Getaway Car. Not Like a Stone. No.
It's okay.
Getaway Car is incredible. Like the first time I heard that song, it's a super mellow song.
Yeah, it is.
Very subdued, very mellow, but it's just so well written, man. And kudos to the Rage guys, because when you listen to Rage Against the Machine, you're like, they would never write a song like that.
Sure.
They did. And Chris sings his ass off, as he always does. Great melodies, great everything. Like it's just a really, really well done, slow, kind of mellow song. It's just not what I was expecting from them at all. Yeah, and that's kind of it really made it better. Like it was kind of this bluesy kind of like almost slightly folky song.
So different.
Really good, really well done. Check it out if you haven't heard it. It's a deep cut from the Audioslave years. What am I on? Number 2?
Number 2.
I'm gonna go Fell on Black Days.
Fell on Black. I can get with that one.
So there are other Soundgarden songs I like better, more than 5. The reason why I put this so high up is because I do love the song. It's a great song. But it's so well written from a vocal standpoint, and just the way it flows, and because there's not really a whole lot of musical breaks in the song. Like even when the musical break in the middle, he's still doing the woo stuff in the background, like that, and like he's always got something.
Do it again.
No, I'm okay. No karaoke tonight. Well, maybe after the video.
Tune in next episode.
Beer night karaoke.
Yeah, we got the mics.
Yeah.
We got the stereo system.
Yeah,
we can get down some karaoke in here. Not on camera though.
Why not?
I just really love the way that song is written. It's so unconventional from a musical standpoint. It really is different from a musical standpoint. Like when I'm a guitar player, so you play that song on guitar, it's different. It's just arranged oddly, but it flows and works so well. And his vocals are just, like, all of his melodies and everything in that song is just really well written.
It's a good one.
Good lyrics.
Right.
Number one, and this is easy for me. Like when you said Chris Cornell song, I was like, I already know number one. It's easy. It's the last song from Super Unknown, probably the best Soundgarden album, but although that's debatable. It's called Like Suicide. It's probably their most epic song, if I could use that word, that they ever did. One of their longer songs. It goes through a lot of changes and it progresses. Starts out really slow and somber, and it ends up ending with this big giant crescendo. And yeah, sure, it's apropos now because he actually did commit suicide, but it would have been my number one pick long before he committed suicide. It's been my favorite Soundgarden song for years. Musically, vocally, it's great, but musically, it really showcases that band for what they could do. Because they were really unmatched in their era as far as their genre. Like the grunge genre, they were doing things that, like, it is never going to be recognized by the mainstream. You know, people are always going to like Nirvana more. They're always going to like Pearl Jam more. But musically, Soundgarden was so far above what they were doing. And this song really showcases it. It's in an alternate tuning, but you would never know it by listening to it. It flows so well. It's so well written musically, and then the vocals are so well written. Lyrically, it's haunting as hell, especially given how his life turned out, yes. But even before that, it was super, super haunting. And the melodies, the guitar melodies in that song, the vocal melodies, the guitar solo, everything. Like, it's just home run.
All right.
Oh,
we do an honorable
mentions? Have honorable mention. You guys can do honorable mentions, but I'm doing it.
You do first, and then we'll go around the horn here.
Rusty Cage. Rusty Cage, fucking just heavy as fuck. Yeah, the guitars in that song, I can't get enough of it. Like, that's just awesome. Outshine, great choice. Also, the bangers, right? That album is a banger of an album, right? It's so heavy and so angry. It's certainly Soundgarden's angriest album. It's by far Chris Cornell's angriest album. And you hear it, it's palpable. To open with Rusty Cage and Outshine back to back, and then Slaves and Bulldozers. I mean, and Jesus Christ Pose. It's like, fuck that. That album is banger. Searching with My Good Eye Closed. I love that song. Also on that album, great song. Spoon Man.
Come on now.
Great showcase of the band as well. Yeah, okay, so the vocals in that song are awesome, but the band fucking shreds that. Matt Cameron, hello, shreds that song. Tighter and Tighter, a deep cut from Down on the Upside, the name of the album. Underrated album, by the way. Fantastic fucking album. So underrated. That song is super dark and super moody and melancholic. Great guitar solo. Great vocal. It's so unconventionally written. Again, we talk about that, where he takes melodies in a direction that you're not expecting. That song is a prime example. Moth, a really good Audioslave song from the end of their third album. I felt like it closed Audioslave's career, because they only did 3 albums. It really closed it on a high note for me. Steel Rain. So this is from his first solo album. Steel Rain is the final song from Euphoria Morning. Super, super haunting and dark song. And I feel like it's probably one of the more pinnacles of his solo career. Yeah. Because he was coming off Soundgarden. People expected him to do something heavy, and he certainly did not. At all. It was a soft rock album, but super, super well done. Euphoria Morning, by the way, is one of his best works. It's a great album. Steel Rain at the end is an insanely haunting song that really showcases him as a songwriter, and of course as a vocalist as well.
Garrett, what you got?
Well, I guess we're going to run the gambit after that. Burden in My Hand was hard. I couldn't put it in my top 5, but it was definitely up there as far as that's... Cochise, actually. I remember that was... I'm sorry I didn't go K-Rock deep cut.
That was luck. Like I just happened to be listening when they announced it, and I literally stayed. We were in a parking lot. I was with my buddy Dan. Actually, he doesn't remember this because his memory is shit. But we were literally. I'm like, no, we're staying in the car. We were like go to wherever we're going, Home Depot or some shit. And I'm like, no, we're gonna listen to this. And we sat in the fucking parking lot and listened to it because it was just pure luck. So.
Coaches, I agree. That's good.
I remember seeing him at Lollapalooza when Audioslave finally got their shit together, and I mean, just blew the doors off of any indie rock band that was there as far as But I was also a big fan of what he did with a lot of his solo stuff, and I actually, the No One Sings Like You Anymore. It was an album that it held a lot of. It's a lot of B-sides. It's a lot of...
It's a collection. It's a compilation.
Absolute compilation. I bought it, so I got it.
Get It While You Can. It was the opening on that portion, and it was really more... He kind of shifted from, with his, things with Soundgarden and Audioslave, went into his unfortunate pop phase. Yeah, Euphoria Morning, there are definitely some gems, and there's some things that I wish I could drink enough to forget. But he got really more gospel, I would say, more than anything. And his touch on gospel was just, it was interesting. It was an interesting take of having a really talented singer. Hey, I'm going to try something real quick. Probably, not one of his more notable works, but I really like the song personally.
There's also a couple of things he did that I forgot to put in my own mention, like I think Sun Chaser.
Yeah. That's
great. Like old school stuff that he did solo while Soundgarden was still around. Before he actually went on a solo career, he did some solo stuff.
He had a knack of
from the Singles movie. I forget the name of the song. It was also in the Man of Steel movie. Great song. I can't remember the name of it. It was escaping me.
He had a really good knack of just recording covers and just kind of filing them away.
Killing it too.
Yeah.
Killing him too.
There were a couple that were just like, okay, well, at least you tried. But for the most part, he did well. Go ahead.
What's the 007 movie that he...
Oh, I love that song. I do love that song. You Know My Name.
You Know My Name.
You Know My Name. That's Casino Royale.
Casino Royale, the first one.
By the way, we talked about how the mainstream kind of really fucked him with American Idol.
Yeah.
I feel like the mainstream kind of recognized and gave him a little nod by giving him a 007 fucking song. Because that was badass. Like, every time that... I love that movie for one, but the opening credits, fuck yeah, here we go.
I mean, I got Nothing Compares to You, which we've already said. I think Show Me How to Live. No one's fucking said
that. Should have been on my honorable mentions. Should have been. Show Me How to Live is great.
Fucking fantastic. Great driving song, by the way. I just want to fucking drive 100 miles an hour. That song. In my hand. And my last one, Pretty Noose.
It's great.
It's great song that he does on the
Soundgarden.
Down
on the Upside.
Down on the Upside.
Yeah.
It's the opening track too.
Get that album.
Great album.
So underrated.
Great album.
So underrated.
That's my honorable mentions. That's our top 5 of Chris Cornell's greatest songs.
We did a lot. We covered some ground there.
A lot of songs, a lot of things, a lot different too. Everyone was different. We didn't really have any similarities, so that's really good.
I think Billie Jean was in there.
Billie Jean maybe was a little bit similar, but
you were the only one who had Black Hole Sun.
No, I was the only one.
Much like his catalog career, you got to try.
Yep. But you know what? You did also have Beyond the Wheel, so I got to give you
Beyond the Wheel.
That's good stuff.
Slaves and Bulldozers. Just listen. Don't even listen to the music. Just listen to
this badass too. Come on,
it is. But listen to him just fucking go off.
Well, yeah, it's a show off. It's a show off song for sure. It's almost like over the top show off song.
Yeah. That about wraps up our music segment.
Wait, what about the Pantera Reunion? No, no Pantera Reunion.
No.
You don't like Pantera?
I love Pantera. This fucking guy doesn't. That's
why you weren't excited.
I was excited. Pantera Reunion.
I said I couldn't talk about it.
Pantera Reunion coming up, 2023. Very excited.
Go see it. It's gonna be sick.
Yes.
No, is it Pantera without Diamond Vinny? No, but
it's not,
you know what? Unfortunately, they're dead.
So we
can do about it.
So we did see Metal Masters 5. I can't remember what year it was. Maybe it was 2016, 2017. And Phil was there, and they did a lot of Pantera songs, which is cool.
You know who else was there?
Fucking
Charlie.
Charlie was there.
Charlie Benante.
They did a lot of cool Pantera
who is a
songs.
bad motherfucker. One of the best drummers in the business. I can't wait to see him play live again with Summit Metal Masters. I've also seen him live with Anthrax. Always a great time. He is a fucking beast.
And Zach Wilde.
Him and Zach together, just to see those two guys play together is like, oh shit, that's a badass pairing right there. I wonder though, and they're gonna play with Phil and Rex. So
I wonder if there are gonna be other like maybe guest stars though that come and
I doubt it. I hope not. I hope it's just those four and they just kill it.
Yeah.
Like I really hope it's those four come out and play an hour and a half, 2 hour set and just destroy.
2 hours.
Because nobody does unless it's Metallica. But still, if they did, it'd be awesome.
It would be. Yeah, it'd be great.
At least play 90 minutes. Fuck
yeah,
and just destroy. Just destroy. Just those four guys get on stage, no frills, nothing, kill.
Damn,
murder, death, kill.
Oh, it's gonna be great. I can't wait. He will not be joining us.
I drink beer. I like music.
Yeah. So you should go because it's gonna be awesome.
There you go.
And to answer your question, yes, Zach Wilde will fill in just fine. He'll do fine.
Be a good time.
Dime is Dime, and the thing about Dime is his style is so different. He's kind of a hybrid, maybe of Eddie VH and Zach.
Yeah.
Kind of like somewhere in the middle. Maybe he has that kind of reckless abandon that Eddie Van Halen had, but then kind of the more the shredders mentality that Zach has, and the bluesy stuff. Although Eddie was very bluesy too. But anyway, I digress. So it'll be fun. It'll be great because Zach can play anything you put in front of him. Charlie Benante is one of the best drummers in the world, so he's super underrated.
I think
amazing.
Phil would sound good. I just saw they did Hellfest with Down not too long ago, and he sounds really good. So
they did I'm Broken with Zach too. It was awesome.
So good stuff. Fun. So we're looking forward to 2023 with Pantera Reunion. Hopefully you guys enjoyed our top 5.
We'll do a top 5 Pantera songs.
We will do it sometime. Probably maybe before we go see them. We'll definitely do top 5. So Pantera songs. So we got more coming for you. Stick around. We got more beer drinking coming your way.